know who sucks? The WWE Universe. And you know who's all day? Me, the youngest Mr. Money in the Bank.
Theory breaks character to share the biggest advice he follows. Tony Khan's AEW failing to beat Triple H's WWE. Ric Flair angry he wasn't invited to Vince McMahon's birthday. Dexter Lumis difficult to work with. AJ Styles says Drew McIntyre is going to destroy Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn on betraying the Bloodline. Let's jump right into our first story of the day. Tony Khan's AEW failing to beat Triple H's WWE. Tony Khan trying to one-up WWE is no secret, and he even said that Triple H taking over creative control is a good thing for wrestling fans. The AEW president has taken numerous shots at WWE over the last few years. However, former writer Vince Russo criticized Khan's recent decision as a knee-jerk reaction against his rivals. Russo was referring to the decision to put CM Punk vs. Jon Moxley on an episode of Dynamite rather than having it as the headliner for AEW All Out. Dr. Chris Featherstone asked the former WWE writer on Writing with Russo if Tony Khan intentionally put the match on free TV to pop a rating and try to one-up Triple H. Vince Russo claimed that it was a knee-jerk reaction from Tony Khan to one-up WWE and criticized his decision to do so. When WCW was kicking our backsides, we never booked that way. We worried about our own house, because we knew that if we wrote a good, solid show every week, eventually they were going to tune in. I think it was a definite knee-jerk reaction. All the positive talk right now is on the WWE, and a lot of negative talk on the side of AEW. It definitely feels like it was a knee-jerk reaction. He went on to state that even if the AEW Dynamite rating drops from 1 million to 950,000 viewers, the shocking Jon Moxley vs. CM Punk match will have accomplished nothing. They went over 1 million viewers for the first time in a long time. I've always said this, bro, you've got to be able to sustain that. If they're back at 950 next week, then what did it accomplish? It seems as though Tony Khan trying to gain the edge over Triple H won't be a one-way fight. It was noted that NXT Worlds Collide was announced on September 4th, which is the same day as AEW All Out. The Worlds Collide show will serve as the end of the NXT UK brand. Mike Johnson of PW Insider believes that the decision to hold the third edition of Worlds Collide on the same day as AEW All Out 2022 was one made by Triple H to fire a shot at Tony Khan and AEW. I definitely think he did. We hadn't word one about the show and suddenly, there it was. I think it's a brilliant move. Tony Khan has taken a lot of victory laps along the way at WWE's expense to turn about as fair play to me. He tried to hurt Triple H, and did, so it's time for H to fire back, via PW Insider. Johnson described it as fair play as Khan has taken several victory laps at WWE's expense. As the promotional rivalry between WWE and AEW unfolds, time will tell what happens next. Ric Flair angry he wasn't invited to Vince McMahon's birthday. WWE legend Ric Flair says he should have been at Vince McMahon's recent birthday, calling himself the biggest fan of McMahon. The former WWE chairman and CEO recently celebrated his 77th birthday in New York at the Waverly Inn restaurant with John Cena and his wife Shea Shariatsede. Brock Lesnar and commentator Pat McAfee were also present at the party. While discussing McMahon in a recent edition of the To Be the Man podcast, Flair jokingly asked why he wasn't invited to the party. The Nature Boy said that McMahon probably thinks that he can't be discreet, which is why he wasn't invited. Why wasn't I invited to his birthday party? What in the hell? I don't think he thinks I can be. What's the word I use with him? I'll be discreet. I should have been at that party though. Damn it, come on. I'm his biggest fan, even though he doesn't like John Cena to be around me, joked Flair. McMahon's appearance at his birthday party was his first public appearance since retiring from the company. Flair has time and again praised McMahon for helping him in the low points of his career and life, and feels that the two are great friends. The Nature Boy wasn't happy about McMahon's retirement and feels that he will have a tough time adjusting to his new life. I don't care what everybody thinks, he made us. I have nothing but respect for him, said Flair about McMahon. Flair recently revealed that he personally thanked McMahon for adding him back to the intro of Raw and SmackDown, which was removed after his exit from the company. Dexter Lumis difficult to work with. Vince Russo is a big fan of current Raw star Dexter Lumis. He spoke about the interactions that they had and considers him to be a brilliant creative mind. However, while praising him, Vince Russo said Lumis allegedly had attitude issues backstage and also revealed an odd reason why the Raw star might be considered difficult to work with. On the latest episode of Writing with Russo, Vince Russo praised Dexter Lumis for having ideas that he believes are beyond WWE's understanding. He said that he hopes Lumis isn't deemed as difficult to work with because he has better ideas than the creative team. I told you, I've dealt with Elias a little bit in a creative capacity. I dealt with Dexter Lumis. He's one of those guys who has ideas that are above and beyond the understanding of the WWE. WWE. I hope that doesn't wind up hurting him in the end where he's got better ideas than they've got and suddenly he's difficult to work with. I hope that doesn't happen because this is a great character. This is a very driven and very smart individual. On the Legion of Raw, Vince Russo broke down the segment involving The Miz and Adam Pearce and slammed the logic behind it, stating that the Alistair not pressing charges made no sense. So Miz doesn't want to talk about it. And a couple of scenes later, Adam Pearce informs us that Loomis was released because Miz didn't want to file any charges. Let me get this straight. Miz doesn't want to talk about it. Something traumatic happened. He's scared to death of the guy. He's got eyes on the back of his head throughout the match, but he didn't want to press any charges. The Miz would lose to the almighty Bobby Lashley thanks to Dexter Loomis' appearance and would leave Raw in a hurry, only for it to be revealed that Loomis was hiding in the backseat. What are your thoughts on Vince's comments about Loomis? Share in the comments below. Theory breaks character to share the biggest advice he follows. WWE superstar Theory has managed to establish himself as an arrogant heel, but in reality, he has a piece of interesting advice that keeps him grounded. Vince McMahon publicly handpicked Theory as the future of WWE. He quickly turned into one of the biggest heels on Raw and even got his hands on the United States Championship. Theory then won the Money in the Bank ladder match and currently poses a threat to the world title picture as he hopes to become the youngest superstar to hold the title in WWE history. During his latest interview with SHAK Wrestling, Theory spoke about the best advice he follows while balancing his accomplishments with his efforts to grow as a performer. Mr. Money in the Bank insists that he never wanted to lose the part of him that got him into the wrestling school in the first place. He said that none of his accomplishments would matter if he lost the hunger to do more. I've said this to everybody, and everybody that's a higher up and means a lot to me, and it's cool to get that conversation going with them, noted Theory. But to me, I always say that if I lose that 8-year-old kid, the kid that walked into a wrestling school on the first day, then I don't get anything. I don't have anything. It doesn't matter about the achievements. It doesn't matter about being the youngest this and youngest that. It doesn't matter about all the big moments. All that stuff doesn't matter if I lose the kid that got me here, that hungry mentality. He further talked about loving the process more than celebrating a milestone. Theory believes that his glorious WWE moments won't last long, but his efforts will always stay with him. I think that something that I am so blessed with is that I love the process. Like, dude, that moment and that achievement and that celebration with everybody is so cool, but that means nothing. The real celebration and that real feeling of work is when I am alone, and I am putting in that work, and I am constantly pushing for the next thing. That moment is just for a second, but that process is forever if you want it, Theory added. One of the biggest surprises from last week's Raw saw Johnny Gargano make a huge return to WWE. There have been speculations about Gargano's potential comeback to the company ever since Triple H took over as the creative head. Unlike a few recent returns, WWE pulled off this return in secrecy. Gargano's promo on the Red brand was interrupted by Theory. The two superstars were close during their time in NXT, and Theory practically worked under Gargano's mentorship. However, this time, Theory believes that he is in a better position than his former mentor and believes that he is now superior in terms of his achievement. Their confrontation led to a couple of altercations in the span of 2 weeks. Both superstars are expected to engage in a compelling feud on Raw after Clash at the Castle. AJ Styles says Drew McIntyre is going to destroy Roman Reigns. AJ Styles has provided his prediction for Roman Reigns' upcoming title defense against Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle. On the back of a successful win over Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2022, the Tribal Chief will defend his title at the upcoming Cardiff show. Speaking on WWE's The Bump, Styles claimed that McIntyre has the momentum on his side heading into Clash at the Castle and seemingly backed the former WWE champion to dethrone Reigns. While obviously you guys have bragged on Roman Reigns, he bragged on himself. But Drew is something special, man. It's his time. I really believe that. In the pandemic, he was champ. This is in front of people. I mean, is it his hometown? Not exactly, but I'm sure they'll be there. I think he's got momentum on his side. I really do, said Styles. Ever since Roman Reigns turned heel and cemented his place as WWE's top star, rumors regarding a match between him and The Rock have circulated online on a regular basis. Speaking in a recent interview with the Sports Illustrated Media podcast, the current undisputed WWE Universal Champion stated that his cousin is busy with his project. Update is Dwayne is dropping it with his own projects, Reigns said. It's got to be pretty good, it's got to be pretty special. I think that just goes to show the clamor, the buzz for it, the chatter for it, the wishful thinking. He further referenced the Young Rock episode, which previously teased the idea of a dream showdown between Reigns and Rock. Reigns added, it's something that he definitely played into within Young Rock, which as you know with him, everything is highly strategic. A lot of synergy with everything that he does, with the projects he's guiding and has in mind. So yeah, I would say just based on that alone, it looks even better than it did the last time we spoke. If Reigns gets past the Scottish Warrior at Clash at the Castle, it would be interesting to see who Reigns' next title challenger will be. Sami Zayn on betraying the Bloodline. WWE superstar Sami Zayn recently broke his silence following his controversial role in Kevin Owens' victory on Raw before Clash at the Castle. Zayn joined the Usos during their appearance on the Red brand this week. The three superstars were cutting a promo when Kevin Owens hijacked their segment. The war of words soon led to a singles match between Jey Uso and Owens. The bout's closing moments saw Jey conspire with Jimmy and Sami Zayn at ringside. Jimmy was supposed to distract the referee while Zayn was instructed to hit Kevin Owens with a steel chair. However, the former Intercontinental Champion couldn't go through with the plan, and KO got enough time to recover. He then used a stunner to seal his victory. Zayn took to Twitter to explain what stopped him from hitting KO. He apparently didn't want Jey Uso to lose via DQ and believes that he has sorted the issue with the Bloodline. To clarify, I didn't hit Kevin Owens because I felt the ref could see me in his periphery, and I didn't want to cause Jey Uso to lose by DQ. I've explained this to the Bloodline, and the issue has been resolved. Friday's championship celebration will proceed as planned. Thank you, wrote Zayn in his tweet. There has been evident tension between Jey Uso and Sami Zayn over the last few weeks. The latter's role in Jey's loss has further fueled the fire. It is worth noting that Zayn still shares a good bond with Jimmy Uso. Although Zayn tried his best to make everyone believe he didn't hit Kevin Owens to protect Jey Uso, WWE fans refused to buy his reasoning. Many seem to think he still has a soft spot for his former best friend, especially since KO openly called him his brother before the match against Jey Uso. Moreover, the prizefighter previously confirmed that he wants to go after every title available in WWE, including the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Thus, many speculate that the entertaining duo are bound to come together and eventually engage in a title feud with the Usos. Fans responded to Zayn's tweet with epic replies, most hailing him for not attacking his real-life friend despite the pressure of maintaining his position in the Bloodline. The WWE Universe seems to be enjoying this storyline, especially considering Zayn's portrayal of an honorary Uce on SmackDown. Additionally, this narrative is bound to bring Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns back in front of each other down the line.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got